Okay, guys, so you may have seen the crazy objective where you need 12 wins with an England team to get a cracked out Enzo Fernandez. I don't know why they picked him, but they have, so we're here for it. I'm going to give you guys the best sort of possible cheap team. I've tried to make it as cheap as possible. There's other options you can throw in that we'll talk about, but hopefully this helps. Leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe for more content. I will be streaming this weekend with some of the England teams as well, and let's get into the video. If you want the cheapest FC24 coins to get ahead of the competition, check out MMOEXP by clicking the link down below and use code JambooUK for 5% off. Okay, so like I say, there is this new objective, 12 wins needed, and you do get an insane Enzo Fernandez. I've tried to pick England players here that are not necessarily the most expensive. I know a lot of you guys are not going to want to spend millions upon millions of coins in order just for this one weekend, but at the same time a lot of people's accounts are stacked at this point in the game, so I've tried to mix it up a little bit. There's plenty of options that we can speak about too. Goalkeeper is a difficult one because there is not many good English keepers on the game. I've just gone with height here, cheap and cheerful. Nick Pope, he is going to be the keeper. Right back, I've gone Lucy Bronze. The card is pretty cheap and it is insane. You know, it's sort of like an overlapping, attacking fullback. 5'5". You know, you need a shadow on her probably. Get that pace up a little bit. But really good on the ball, passing, physicals. Got the Bruiser plus as well as Anticipate. And it's a good card, you know, for very cheap. We then have Tamori. Again, other options you could go for. A lot of you guys may have, for example, the Rio Ferdinand. So you could throw him in there. Even the Joe Gomez that was on the thumbnail of this video. If you do have him, even though he's a more expensive sort of option, he'd be very good. But Tamori, you know, for those of you that want to do this on a budget, is a very good card. Super quick, good agility balance. Not the best play styles. Obviously, the card is quite old, so it doesn't have, you know, all the ones that these new cards do. But it's definitely a good card. We then have Millie Bright. I think she's almost a must. I've used this card, and it is extremely good. Obviously, a little bit short, coming in at 5'10", but it's not the end of the world. 4-star weak foot. You know, she's got the crazy jumping and physical stats to sort of make up for the height. She's quick, ball playing centre back as well, and does have aerial plus. I think this is one of the top English centre backs in the game, and it is one that I would throw in, you know, for pretty cheap as well. We then have Charles. I think this is the obvious choice at left back. You know, you got the 5-star weak foot, a really well-rounded team of the season card. You know, even good finishing and stuff like that. Just very solid everywhere. And then you have whipped pass, intercept, and jockey as well. I just think that's a very solid option all round. I then went with Lampard, super cheap. And again, you know, there's other options. You could have a Bellingham, for example. Some of you may have a Gerrard. Any of those guys will work. But this Lampard is really good value for less than 100,000 coins at the time of recording this. 4-star, 4-star, and a sort of a box-to-box. You know, it's fitting the bill. You got to think, like, most people are going to be running around with these England teams as well. So you're not really, for the most part, going to have to be worrying about running into, you know, Ruud Gullit, for example. You know, the general standard of team is going to be weaker this weekend. So he has finesse, you know, power shot, incisive. It's a really decent, well-rounded card. We then have Declan Rice. I think he's a must. He can sort of do that box-to-box, but he adds that elite defending and physicality into the midfield. 4-star, 4-star, crazy pace, elite passing. He's good on the ball, elite defending and physicals. This is a top card and an absolute must for the price. Only a few 100,000 coins. Block, intercept, relentless. It's just very, very well-rounded. And I think you're going to be seeing a lot of him this weekend. We then have Foden, a little bit more on the expensive side. You know, if you want to work it on a real budget, there is cheaper versions of him. You've even got, you know, depending on your coin situation, the new Eze has just been released, I believe, as an SBC, who looks absolutely insane. So there is options at Cam, but this Foden, you know, he would be my obvious pick. Great pace, finishing, passing, elite on the ball. You know, good play styles as well. This card is legit. I've used it a number of times. We then have Saka. And again, you know, there's other options. You've got the Palmer, for example. But Saka, I really like him in game. And I think, considering this is a fairly elite attacker, coming in at around 400k at this point in the game, I don't think it's too bad at all. 5-star weak foot. You know, great pace, finishing, everywhere you look, insane stats. Finesse shot plus, you know, whipped pass, other good play styles. I went with Watkins up front. Now, you could go for Kane if you wanted to spend more money. I think that Kane is quite an upgrade on this card. But in terms of cheap and cheerful, like, this card is very good. You know, good pace, physicals, 4-star, 4-star, which is a bit of a letdown, but it's not the end of the world. Just a really well-rounded card who is just going to do a job, you know, up front for these 12 wins, you know, for sure. And then finally, Sancho, super cheap, really good meta winger, 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, just solid all round, you know, great on the ball. He's got the finesse shot, whipped pass, all that stuff. So that is the team I went with. Other options, if you have any questions about certain players, you can comment down below. And if you want us to win these games for you this weekend, link is in the description. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you on the next one, and peace.